Hello everyone, in this video I am super excited because we're going to be making meat pies and it's going to be delish. So let's get started. So I have several ingredients which you're going to find in the description box down below, and also I have a homemade puff pastry that I made earlier. You can find the link in the description box on how to make the puff pastry. Exciting. So I'm going to move over to the stove top where I've placed a pan, added cooking oil. I'm always excited when I get to make something delicious. So I'm going to add in 1 medium onion, which is finely diced, together with some crushed garlic. I'm using 4 cloves of garlic. So I'm going to cook the onions together with the garlic until the onion is soft and the garlic is fragrant. Once the onion is ready, I'm going to be adding in potatoes and carrots. Mixing. I'm starting by adding my potatoes and carrots because they take a while to cook. So I'm going to cook this until semi-cooked, like halfway. We cook halfway. So as the potatoes cook, I'm going to be adding in a few spices. So I have some ginger, black pepper, some parsley and oregano, and I have some fresh thyme straight from my kitchen garden. Also, you can notice that I've diced the potatoes in small pieces because I want the potatoes to cook fast and it will be easier for me to fill in our puff pastry. I'm going to add in some ground ginger, black pepper, oregano, and some parsley. Add in 2 seasoning cubes which contain salt, so I'm not going to be adding more salt to my dish. This is smelling divine. My potatoes and carrots are ready, so I'm going to be adding in my minced meat. Using my spatula, I'm going to break down the meat as the meat cooks. Once the meat is starting to sweat down, I'm going to be adding in some Worcestershire sauce. Don't mind about the pronunciation. So that is about a tablespoon of the sauce. Mixing, and then I'm going to be adding in some fresh thyme. So I'm going to pluck off the leaves. My meat filling is ready and it's looking very delicious. I love the aroma, and the potatoes also are fully cooked. As you can see, they are very easily mashable. So I'm going to turn off the heat, and then I'm going to be working on my puff pastry. So I'm going to spread a little bit of all-purpose flour to my countertop, and then I'm going to work on my chilled dough. Make sure the puff pastry is chilled before handling. So I'm going to roll out my dough carefully and roll out into a very big rectangle. Once I've rolled out the dough in a big rectangle, I'm going to be cutting my puff pastry into small squares. So my dough is very thin, as you can see, so it's going to be very good for our meat pies. So I'm going to chop off the ends of my dough. I'm making a perfect rectangle. Place the offcuts on one side. Then I'm going to cut my dough. Then I'm going to divide the dough into squares, smaller squares like that. Add in some filling. And then next I'm going to place another piece of puff pastry on top and seal using my fork. At this point, you're going to preheat your oven at 200 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. So I'm going to finish off making my pies. Once done assembling my meat pies, I'm going to be using a knife to slice through my pies. This is to release the excess air in the pie. And then the next thing is to brush the top of my dough with some egg wash. You can switch the egg wash with some milk and it's still going to be okay. So the egg is going to help us to have some nice golden brown color on top of our meat pies. So I'm going to be baking my meat pies for around 20 to 25 minutes or until you notice a very nice golden brown color on top. My meat pies are ready and they're looking very delicious, and I love that you can notice the layers from my puff pastry, my homemade puff pastry. I hope you check out that recipe for those who usually ask for the recipe. And the filling is very delicious. I've already had one and I'm very excited for the others to taste because I like opinions. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you try out this amazing recipe and enjoy making your meat pies.